you carry on with sharing the screen.
All right. Rishabh, please enable the sharing setting for me.
Please check it for me.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for joining today. I request Akanksha to start the session.
Yes. Hello, everyone. A warm welcome to everyone present here for the session. We are here to discuss about the PRISM program that is being funded and supported by DSIR. And for this session, we have with us in the honorable panel, Dr. Sarika Madan, who is working as Scientist E in the Department of Scientific and Industrial Research, Ministry of Science and Technology at New Delhi. She is engaged with the prestigious PRISM program of DSIR, as well as involved in the recognition and registration of in-house R&D units of corporate industries in DSIR. Prior to joining department in 2013, she did her PhD in August 2009. Thanks for joining the session, Dr. Madan. And we have with us Dr. Amitama Bandyopadhyay, who is a professor in biosciences and bioengineering at IIT Kanpur. He is the chair professor at Kent Innovation and Incubation Center, and also the director at SIIC. I welcome you, Dr. Bandyopadhyay, to the session.
Thank you, Akanksha.
Yes. And we have with us Ms. Sudha Selvaraj, who has been a guiding light for us during our years here, and she has been contributing in the success of SIIC since 19 years. She is with us here for the session. And now I would like to ask Ms. Anamika, our program manager for PRISM, to take over.
Thanks a lot, Akanksha. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone, and I thank our lovely audience for joining this afternoon. Thanks to our speakers, Professor Bandyopadhyay, Dr. Madan, for joining today. Dr. Sandeep Patil, one of our successful PRISM grantee, he has also joined. And thank you. And so soon we are expecting Mr. Nikhil Upadhyay to join.
Nikhil has joined. Nikhil has joined.
Okay. Okay. Welcome, Nikhil.
Thank you, ma'am.
So this event today is more about the awareness regarding this scheme. Why PRISM? Because PRISM gives the opportunity for a grassroots innovator to work on their idea, to develop their prototype and bring it to the level of commercialization. PRISM helps innovations developed by individual startups and MSMEs. Main objective of the program is to transform an individual innovator into a technopreneur by promoting, supporting, and funding their innovation, implementable, and commercially viable innovations created for society, irrespective of their education background. As I already mentioned, grassroots innovators are highly encouraged through this scheme. So any innovation that has a social and economic impact is worth supported by PRISM. All the focus areas are affordable healthcare, water and sanitation, sewage management, green technology, clean energy, industrially utilized smart materials, and waste to wealth. So before I go ahead with the program details, I just request our guest speaker, Professor Upadhyay. First, I request him to give an overview about the TOCIC and the support that we have been receiving from DSIR. In addition to this, I also would like to thank all the DSIR officials, PRISM officials, who have been really helpful and providing the guidance to us in carrying out all the application process, funding process throughout these years. I would like to thank Dr. Banerjee, Dr. PK Datta for their wonderful support. I also would like to thank SK Deshpande sir, who had guided us earlier, and we have been working with PRISM schemes since the time when Dr. A.S. Rao was in the team. So thank you so much. Over to Professor Bandyopadhyay.
Thank you, Anamika. First of all, formally, I welcome Dr. Madan for attending this event, for accepting our invitation. I do understand that in this Zoom meeting era, we are all busy all the time with one meeting or the other, and we really appreciate. And of course, time is more than money for the innovators. So both Dr. Sandeep Patil and Nikhil Upadhyay, I would like to thank them profusely for joining the meeting. To frame PRISM in the overall context of IIT Kanpur Technology Business Incubator, let me start by saying this, that today we are extremely proud that the incubator of IIT Kanpur is the home for 3 outstanding companies whose products are national brands today. And of course, Sandeep Patil is here with us. His Swasa mask, not only it is ubiquitous at IIT Kanpur, but it is used by our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi. Recently, a special edition of Swasa mask was created for the parliamentarians of India. We are also the home for the V310 ICU ventilator promoted by another company called Nokark Robotics, which made history, which is now officially made an entry into the Limca Book of Records, along with 2 other outstanding initiatives by ordinary Indians during the pandemic, that is the Vande Bharat mission, by which stranded Indians from all over the world were brought back to the country during the COVID pandemic, and Bharat Biotech's Covaxin. So fabrication and commercialization of Nokark V310 is being regarded in the same league as that of Vande Bharat mission and Covaxin development, which makes us enormously proud. And I am sure almost everybody in this audience knows about the outstanding products produced by Pool, another incubated company of IIT Kanpur. These are only 3 of the 160 companies that IIT Kanpur has nurtured in its history. And at present, we have 104 companies incubated, of which a very bright one is of Nikhil Upadhyay's. That is already a revenue-making company, but as many would understand, because of the confusion with regulation of drone industry, that business did not yet become that large, but it is pregnant with possibilities. I would recall 2 years back, the CEO of Nithyayog, Mr. Amitabh Kant, tweeted about Nikhil Upadhyay's efforts to deliver, of course, a dummy package from a remote village in Uttarakhand to the district headquarters. And Mr. Kant said that this is the way forward for technology innovation in the country. And how prophetic that was, that today, when the country is facing the COVID-19 pandemic, vaccines are being delivered using drones, and Nikhil is playing a major role in there. And Nikhil's journey also started with a PRISM program. And the beauty of PRISM program, see, like in India, there are many unicorns that are being born now almost on a weekly basis, which is indeed a matter of pride for the entire country. I think this year alone, so far it is 29 and counting. However, most of these unicorns, I think all of these unicorns are in the service sector. They're in the SaaS or fintech domains. However, if we think about when the nation was in crisis, that is the COVID-19 pandemic, which are the companies that actually came to the aid of the country? There it is, the companies like Eastman Nanotech, Nokark Robotics, like My Labs, which came up with the first COVID diagnostic in the country. There were companies that made PPE kits, so that we, from having no PPE kit production to becoming the second largest PPE kit producer in the country. Hindustan Syringes, which made syringes not only for the country, but for the whole world. It is the manufacturing companies that really would make us Atmanirbhar, or self-sufficient. And that's where PRISM fits in. PRISM is a scheme that particularly helps manufacturing companies. And PRISM recognizes that excellence does not flow from a college degree. So it is open to any innovator with a good idea. And to the best of my knowledge, this is the only government scheme that is open to all, irrespective of educational qualification, which, as an Indian, as a scientist, as a professor, I cannot possibly appreciate enough. And the result of that was witnessed last year, or 2019, sorry, the last year is kind of a black hole. Everything went blank there. In 2019, when we organized a very similar event, and I think Dr. Madan was there in campus on that day, where we organized an open house.
It was Dr. Vandana Kalia.
Oh, yeah. So Dr. Vandana Kalia was there. So we organized an open house for any technology from anybody, from within IIT Kanpur, outside. And there we met a team. All the members of the team were ITI graduates, and they developed a horizontal lathe. So compared to a vertical lathe, in that horizontal lathe, you can make 4 replicas at a time. And it was a beautiful design. And many others demonstrated, including some of our star startups. And then the ranking was thrown open to the audience by voice vote. And it was an unanimous decision of the entire audience. The house was packed, IIT Kanpur audience. They voted for this team to be the champion. And we gave them a token prize money on the spot. Then we nurtured that team. They applied for PRISM program, and today they are one of the grantees of the PRISM program. And I am sure a year down the line, they will be one of the MSMEs of Kanpur. This is the power of PRISM program. This is the advantage of being at IIT Kanpur. where excellence is recognized and nurtured. And this is the beauty of having a good incubator where all sorts of support can be extended to a high quality innovator. So that is what I wanted to say in brief. For all the audience that is gathered here, I am pretty sure there are many young aspiring innovators. I would ask them to vie for PRISM grant. Of course, it is competitive. It is a difficult one to get. But the moment you get your PRISM grant, you know that you belong to a very elite group of pioneers like Sandeep Patil, Nikhil Upadhyay, and many others. I was looking at the list of PRISM grantees from IIT Kanpur, and it is quite surprising that more than 50% of them are actually successful entrepreneurs today. So that tells you that the filter for PRISM program is very good, and the support not only from the incubator but also from the funding body is very, very high quality. I will end with this. As a scientist, I am quite used to funding organizations. I go there, defend my grant, get my money, sometimes don't get my money, sometimes, we hear all sorts of things. But when I went to the PRISM programs in Delhi at the DSIR office, I was quite surprised to see one thing. I was noticing Dr. Banerjee, he would present all the applications. I guess your system is that every program officer presents a set of programs. And Dr. Banerjee would present those that I have 5 projects, and this is my project number 1, my project number 2. So this spirit of taking ownership of innovation and entrepreneurship is a very unique thing about DSIR's PRISM program, which I respect a lot. So without much delay, I would request Dr. Madan to educate the crowd about the PRISM program and encourage them to apply for it. Thank you. I would thank you all for your attention.
Thank you so much, Professor Bandyopadhyay. It's a pleasure to be here today, this evening, for such a great, I did nothing to organize this workshop. It is the entire hard work of IIT Kanpur team, especially Anamika, Akansha, and Sudha madam. Of course, Professor Bandyopadhyay is the driving force. I'm truly thankful to all of you. I'm just jumping from one meeting to another, but everything is done. I don't have to do anything. So that is the beauty of having a TOCIC, especially the IIT Kanpur TOCIC. So I would start the meeting by saying that when we have 35 proposals, 10 of them are from IIT Kanpur. Out of 10, 7 of them are already startups. So this is the level of the proposal that is coming from IIT Kanpur. Of course, we try our level best to put forward, as Sir Professor Bandyopadhyay has said, here in DSIR, whenever the proposal is received, there is a dealing officer to whom the proposal gets assigned. So now we are speaking on behalf of the innovator and trying to convince the interministerial panel or the board that this innovation is worth supporting. So from this, I come to my first point for today's meeting, because I would come straight to the agenda. The point is the proposal should be so well written that we can justify each and every rupee of government of India. It is a hard-earned taxpayers' money, and we here as DSR officials have to defend your proposal. So all the innovators listening to us today, please write a clear-cut original idea that you have in your mind. Simply write it down. Write what is the outcome that you're going to get out of it, what are the deliverables, and who will benefit from that innovation. So any kind of proposal, whether it is up to 2 lakh category or a 20 lakh or more than that, up to 50 lakh category, everybody is requested to kindly be as simple as possible, because Innovation doesn't mean to complicate things, mince your words, write a difficult language, hire somebody to just write what you think. No, please write it down yourself. Approach the TOCIC. So IT Kanpur has all the professionals and a perfect ecosystem to help you out. Please go to your TOCIC with your idea, even if it is there in your mind. You've not written it down. Please go to the TOCIC. They will help you write down the proposal, and it comes in the form of a very good proposal. And I'm talking of, see, we have got phase one, wherein we have got two categories of the proposal. One is category one, another one is category two. So, category one, the total project cost can be somewhere up to 5 lakh, and category two, it can be up to 20 lakhs. So, in the category one, DSR supports only 2 lakhs, and in category two, we support up to 20 lakh of the project, total PRISM support is given. So please just formulate your idea. Of course, when it is a 2 lakh proposal, you have to have a simple proof of concept that you're going to show in your project. So just be as simple as possible. Don't complicate things. We find it very difficult because whenever the ideas have to be translated into any proposal or a project, the innovator hardly has a clarity of what they want to do. So take the help of TOCIC and kindly formulate a good proposal. They are experts in doing this work. And whatever documents we have been asking the TOCIC to do, they have come in a better shape. So, as I've said, today taking a government grant is not that easy because there's a lot of competition, lot of innovative proposals are being submitted to DSIR, and only I would say about 20% of them would get recommended at the end of the day. So in that case, about 80% we don't like to reject, but then they don't qualify the screening through the committee and the board. So that is why it is important to write your proposal very well. Secondly, I would like to say that kindly build in the innovation or the uniqueness concept in the proposal. Whenever you're submitting to DSIR, highlight the innovative component. It should not be a simply a copy of whatever has been done, a different way of doing certain things, certain software development. So we don't in DSIR or as per the guidelines, we do not encourage such kind of proposals. So please be stick to the guidelines. There are very clear guidelines given on the website of DSIR for all the categories, category one and category two of the proposal. Kindly follow the guidelines and be as clear as possible. Secondly, I would like to say if there is some language constraint, if the innovator, because the beauty, as sir has also said, the beauty of PRISM scheme is the person can be a simple housewife, they can be students. We are seeing less proposals from students, but that phase one, category one belongs originally to the students category. The students who have already participated in some workshop, they have done some poster presentation, they have some idea in mind. We hardly see proposals from students, but that category can be well exploited by the students in a school or a college wherein they want to write a proposal and take the help of TOCIC to just formulate a nice proposal and give the breakup of the requirements that are there as per the format available in the DSI guidelines. So give your original idea or the know-how. Even if you want to show a proof of concept, go ahead with the guidelines and the format and submit it to us. Secondly, the whatever the innovators are finding, what problem we are facing today is there are no outcomes defined in the proposal. The proposal is just listing out what is the uniqueness and the innovative context in the proposal, but not highlighting what they are going to achieve, who are going to be the beneficiaries. So unless the beneficiaries are defined, suppose you have some innovation in mind, but you don't know what is the business model, you don't know what is the socio-economic impact, or you don't think there will be a techno-commercial impact of your innovation. If you are not convinced, you are not writing it down, we won't be able to convince to the committee, and the proposal cannot be ever cleared from our side. So kindly, please go Google search all the internet, all the papers, publications, be clear whether your idea is original or not, and be clear on what innovation, what changes, what difference, or what rigorous demonstration of that original idea could be done, how it could be done, so that your know-how can have a techno-commercial impact. So we have great examples in front of all of you today. We have Dr. Sandeep Patil. So everybody knows EcoSpin. Everybody knows Swasa mask today. So when there was no N95, when it costed 550 rupees, when we used it in Delhi for pollution, we never thought we'll have to buy it for corona and we'll have to buy a bulk pack. So they made it affordable for us, and we truly recognize that fact. And I think he's applied for recognition as in-house R&D unit also to DSIR. So one thing is related to the other. First, to do a good innovative project, maybe a 2 lakh, then you move to the phase 2 wherein you apply for a bigger grant, maybe 20 lakh. Then you go on open a company, a startup, and you commercialize your idea. You go for venture capital funding, you gather funds, you do all those things. It is a chain reaction. It comes one after the other. So it has to be the spark within you. And don't let that spark go off because of some procedure, some form, some format that you have to follow, or you have to approach a nearby TOCIC and ask them help you to write the proposal. So writing of the proposal, I would like to stress that it's so important. We have around 11 TOCICs today in Pan India, and the nearest TOCIC to your place, the place that you belong, can be approached. And we have the list which is given on the website of DSIR. So please approach the TOCICs. And even if you submit the proposal directly to us in DSIR, we send it to TOCICs, the relevant one, which is the closest to your home place. And they are the one who are going to get your proposal reviewed, guide you in framing the proposal, then send it to us only after it is screened in. So as Professor Bandyopadhyay said, the procedure is difficult, but it is, we can see the result. Whatever proposals have been supported so far, we have had such a great success in those proposals. So currently I'm having, it's a side story, but I have an innovator. Her niece died because of dengue and chikungunya and malaria, all three diseases at a time. And she got this inspiration. I mean, after that death in her family, she took it upon her to formulate a kit, a diagnostic kit for diagnosing all three of these mosquito borne viral diseases in one go, so as to save the cost of treatment and save life. So I'm so happy to tell you that it was a 12-month project, and somehow our scheme was going to close by 31st March uh, last year. So we requested her, just reformulate it, do it. If you have passion in you, just do it in 8 months. And I'm happy to share today she could finish everything in 8 months, along with all the 500 validation kits she has made. She's validated the samples, do the clinical studies, despite all the COVID thing that happened with us in the second wave, especially here in Delhi. So you have to have that spark in you. And I'm not saying to have a sad story or a background, only then you can push yourself. Please feel free to innovate, but do take a guidance, do take some help. I mean, we are here in DSIR. Of course, we cannot give that much time, which our TOCICs are sparing so much time, day in and day out. They are working on these projects. They are just mentoring and scouting proposals. We are not doing, as a funding body, as a government department, we are unable to spare that much time. But I admit that. But the TOCICs are there with all of you. Please take their help. Write a good proposal, submit it to us. We are here to support all the good innovations, all the, at least an original idea will not fail. If you're copying it from somewhere, bringing it to us by giving a new look or some new name, then of course nobody can, I mean, get it through, because we have an elaborate panel of experts. One or the other, each is having a specific domain area. So the proposal doesn't get cleared so easily. So this is my urgent request to all of you. Let us popularize PRISM scheme to the best of our abilities. Let us do as much hard work as possible in our own positions. I do my work very sincerely. I urge all of you, please do your work sincerely, write a good proposal, submit it to us, and we are here to help you and support you and get your innovations forward in the pipeline. So, with this, I will end my talk today because I think with the question and answer session, the innovators would have more questions and we may be answering a specific, we should spare some time for that. And of course, Akansha and Sudha madam and Anamika ji are going to elaborate on each and every point on how you are going to write a proposal. I mean, as per the format, what are the requirements? They are going to elaborate on that. In between, if there is any support, then I will help you. But let us now proceed to the next stage of this webinar. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Madan. It was really insightful. Thank you. I share my screen again with the presentation that will walk you through the different stages of PRISM and also the new portal that DSIR has introduced recently. So as we just discussed eligibility, any Indian citizen having an innovative idea which has a social and economic impact can apply under PRISM scheme. There are a few limiting conditions. One, that any innovation or solution which has only the software development as a major component will not be encouraged or promoted for the funding support. It should have a combination of software and hardware as a major component in it. Any innovation that involves a pure academic research project will not be supported under PRISM. And financial support is provided, funding support is provided for the work that is, it is not considered as an award or a fellowship, but it's depending on the monitoring of the activity and the milestones with the proposed time frame. These are the different categories in the PRISM scheme. So first, that's the three phases. Phase one involves two categories. Category one is the funding support given for innovation that are at the ideation stage or are about to work on the proof of concept. Category two involves all those innovation which are ready for prototype development and working in that area. Phase two is to support the scale-up projects, but phase two can be applied. One can apply this one only when the prototype development is done through PRISM phase one, or it is supported by another government funded scheme. Then only one can apply for phase two. And third is the R&D proposal. Here is the funding support, the financial support that one receives under category one. As it is the ideation or the POC stage, the project can cost up to ₹5 lakh. And it helps the innovator to convert their ideas into a minimum viable product or prototype. The maximum support is the tune of ₹2 lakh or 90% of the approved project cost, whichever of these is lower. Category two is project cost more than 5 lakh, but up to the tune of ₹35 lakh. In this category two, an innovator has to demonstrate the idea in the form of the prototype and also demonstrate the testing, the trials they have done, any patents they have, or any kind of technology transfer. All those involved in the application are eligible for category two. The maximum support provided under category two is ₹20 lakh or the 90% of the approved project cost, whichever is lower. Regarding phase two, as I already mentioned, that all those applications are supported which have completed the phase 1 or completed the prototype through the support of any other government funded program. The project cost for phase 2 is more than rupees 35 lakh and it could go up to 100 lakhs, but a proper valuation is required before the application is completely processed for the second level screening. This helps in improving the market access by carrying out such value added work by adding all the features, all the patenting and the protection and the aesthetics in the design, and also the limited production for market seeding, all completely combining into a good business proposal. Maximum support is up to 50 lakhs or the 50% of approved cost, whichever is lower. This also requires certificate from a competent financial authority, agencies that clearly indicating that there is no loan or any other financial liability pending with that innovator. Last is the PRISM R&D proposals. This is providing the support up to 50 lakhs and limited to 50% of the total project cost. This is mainly for developing technology solutions aimed at the MSME clusters. And any R&D institute, autonomous institution, public funded laboratories, academic institutes, all these are eligible to apply for this category. So let me walk you through the application process. All the applications for PRISM 1, Category 1, PRISM 1, Category 2, Phase 2, all are available at this link under the program tab on our website, sicincubator.com. You can check the program page. You can fill the application and send it to TOCIC IIT Kanpur. The first level screening is done at the TOCIC, where we see the uniqueness or the novelty in the innovation. We see the competitive advantage, the beneficiary part, as Dr. Madan suggested. We see the social and economic impact. Once it is done, we take it to the next level for an expert evaluation. If the evaluation is positive, then we forward it to DSIR. And the final decision is made by the PSC committee. They evaluate it, the innovator has to present before the committee, and then the final decision is taken that how much support will be provided, and the proposed milestone, if it needs a revision, the budget, if it needs a revision, then that is intimated to the innovator before the final sanction is done. There's something new that we would like to share here today about the online portal that DSIR has introduced. And I'm sure this will really make the whole process of application, tracking the application for all the three parties, that is DSIR, TOCIC, and the innovator. So, and this is also having the option for mobile access. So an innovator can access it over the mobile as well. The Umang portal is, let me show you the next slide. Yeah. So the landing page for Umang portal is this one. Here is the link that you see here. So this is the first page. When you reach to this link, click to this link, you reach to this page, and on the right corner, it's a faint image. So here it says login or register. One has to create an account first, which can be done through just entering the mobile number. It can be done with OTP. For the first time, it is convenient through the OTP option. So enter the mobile number with the OTP, you enter this code given here, and you start to log in. This creates a profile for the innovator. Other details about innovator can be entered once this part is done. Innovator reaches to the second page, which is visible here. Profile completion can be done on the next page. After the profile completion is done, the login is created. It takes to a third page, which shows the tab for DSIR, Department of Scientific Industrial Research. If one clicks here, and it also gives a DG locker where all the documents will be saved related to the application. It takes you to the next page where it shows two schemes. We are discussing about PRISM. So the second one is the PRISM, Promoting Innovation in Individual Startups and MSMEs. It gives you a blue tab which tells to open the DSIR page. One can click here. It takes us to the PRISM page. As soon as the PRISM page is clicked, it gives the application, it opens the application. First it gives the options to choose category, which category one has to apply. So this image shows the category 1 and category 2, one can choose here. Finally, we reach to the application page. Application is quite similar to what we had already provided earlier. We provided to the applicants, and because it is an online portal, so if you click on this arrow, then the pop-up menu shows all the heads and the budget table, which can be selected, and the project cost, on-share, project timeline, milestone, and activity can be filled by the applicant. This gives the access to application, which can be revisited multiple times. You can save the draft, you can close it, you can reset the information, and the green tab here shows the submit option. Once the application is submitted, applicant will receive a reference number, application reference number, that will help later to track the application. This page shows the blue tab here. It says a few status of application. One can go here and track the application. So this is available now. One can apply through Umang portal. The application will be received at DSIR, and then DSIR will be contacting TOCICs involved, and that application will reach us after that. Just a brief about the mechanism. As I already told, the first level screening is done at TOCIC, evaluation by experts, then the proposal is forwarded to DSIR for a PSC committee meeting, which makes the final decision. And the release is based on the proposed budget, the milestones, activities, the deliverables, and the subsequent releases of different tranches are based on the progress made, milestones achieved, all that monitoring. Based on that, the subsequent tranches will be released and disbursed to the applicant, and the completion as per the scheme norms. Once again, just a reminder to all our audience that this is all about an idea. It doesn't matter how educated one is. It's just that if you have an idea, just start working on it. The PRISM support is there. We, as a TOCIC, are here to guide you throughout the process of application. So please contact us. Just to give you a glimpse of our successful grantees, here you see the innovation by Eastman Nanotech, which is also DSIR recognized. The founder is Dr. Sundeep Patil, has already joined us today, so he will be discussing more about it in a few minutes. Another Mr. Nikhil Upadhyay, his drone technology had helped a lot in transferring the blood samples, the vaccines in the tough times through hilly regions. And Nikhil has also joined here. There are two other innovations. Fleximo, this is a very interesting solution for all those especially abled people who face difficulty in maintaining a fast pace, and they may be unable to run like a normal healthy human being. So this solution, this gives the support. It helps a person even to run when they have a difficulty in their limbs, or they are unable to walk properly. Even then, with this help, with this aid, they can run. So that's significance of Fleximo crutches. Here you can see Mr. Chandrasekhar with his manual harvester. He developed this for all the marginal farmers who cannot afford the expensive harvesting machines and can use this for the farms. And next, yeah, this is it. Thank you so much. Thank you for being patient, listening to my scheme details. So thank you again. And now I invite Dr. Sandeep Patel to share his story. Hello, Dr. Patel. Over to
you. Hi, Dr. Rathod. I'm Anamika Ji. Yeah. And hi, Dr. Sarika. Hi, everyone, and Dr. Bandyopadhyay. Thank you so much on this platform for the invitation. I must say I was the first one who got the DSIR, and from there it is the success story begins from the DSIR funding. That time I think it was a TEPP program. Now it is a PRISM. So when I was doing a PhD at IIT Kanpur with Professor Ashutosh Sharma, so I came to know about the TEPP program from our SIDBI Innovation and Incubation Center only. So I did apply to that particular program as an innovation related to the nanofiber technology, to develop the nanofiber technology, because that time, it was in 2011-12, the nanofiber was just the lab research that most of the, the researchers, they started doing it. And I was the one who proposed the innovation of the nanofiber technology at the industrial level. And that is how we innovated a lot of stuff, and we could, presented a commercial product into the market. It is not only for the research purpose, but for the community. We serve the community in a large number. So it was the very, handsome of amount we got it during very early stage of my startup, like 4.5 lakh rupees of particularly to develop this technology. And from there, our journey started. So without, to start the startup, you need to have a lot of funding. And this was the one of the key steps which I got a funding at right time from the DSIR. And then we developed the machine. That machine, we have developed almost 2 to 3 prototypes to, showcase them. And we again developed the large scale machine technology for the nanofiber. And based on that, not only in India, we could able to sell these machines. We have reached almost all the countries like Russia, Europe, US, and all these countries that we could able to supply these machines at a very economical cost. And that was the fantastic change for us. From there, I hope there is no power, Anumika ji. So it is fine that I mean, like it is, I'm audible, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you are audible. It is the incubator suffered a power cut. It will come back.
Yeah. So from there we started, and then we could able to not only in India, and now today we are serving more than 300 researchers, not only IITs but NITs, the private institutions, R&D institutions, CSIR lab, IITs like DRDO labs, and it is not only that machine which is developed on the funding of DSIR and the PRISM, but it is also we are giving the scientific knowledge to them. What to do with the machine. So it is a complete package. It is not the service that we are providing in terms of machine, but it is also scientific knowledge that we are sharing. And many institutions, we got the collaboration on the basis of machine that we have supplied, and they are able to get many projects, scientific project on the particularly jointly we have wrote. you can say more than 10 projects that people got it, and that is the value of project is more than 1 CR. So that is the milestone that we have achieved. And we wanted to, the PRISM support that we want, it is not only develop the technology, but we also, the Professor Sharma told me that we need to translate knowledge from the lab to research and research to the product. And based on that basis, we could, I mean, Eastman have shown a lot of inputs in terms of innovations. Many people, using these machines. I must say more than 1,000 papers have been published, and there are many patents. And people, the machines that have been installed very early stages like 2011-12, those machines are still running, and we are still supporting them without asking a single penny out of it. And apart from that, based on nanofiber technology, we have developed the mask called Swasa mask in 2017-18. It was before pandemic, and that time, in India, we only used to say anti-pollution mask just to filter the particulate matter. We are the one who started in India. It is particle, and the pollution is not only related to the particulate matter, dust, it is also related to the virus and the bacteria. It was the first of IIT Kanpur product, first of our SIC Incubation Center product, and the Eastman product, based on supported by the DSIR, we could able to introduce the first antiviral antibacterial mask in the market. And that was also certified by Nelson Laboratory, USA. It was the great milestone that we could able to achieve. And during this pandemic, we scale up the technology, and we also scale up the mass manufacturing with the support of SIS and IIT Kanpur in the campus. And you must have seen our Prime Minister was wearing this mask during the Ayodhya Puja, and it was the great boost for our energy as well as our product. I mean, like the people, the high profile people, like they are endorsing your product, you always get excited to do the new things. And that is how we could able to, do our innovations, not only limited to the mask, but also we are coming up with various new product based on nanofiber technologies, say the passive filters, which are going to install in the offices, windows curtain, they will act as a curtain. And they are mostly highly antiviral, antibacterial materials, which will be used as a nanofiber form, and they will act as a passive filter, which will filter the air, outside air, and it will come inside the room, which is a filter. So you don't need any kind of active filter technology to filter out the virus and the bacteria. Also, we are coming up with one of the very innovative product for the babies, newborn babies, to create the nanofiber based curtains, cradles, basically that small जो पालना होता है, जो जिसमें बेबी को सुलाया जाता है. So we are coming up with that new innovative cradles where nanofiber will have the mesh, and it will be the passive filter to stop the virus and the bacteria. Because you must have seen many times our newborn babies, they get highly infected with the particulate matter because their nostrils, they are fluffy and a lot of water is stored. So anything goes and stick the wall of the nostrils, it creates the secretions, and that is the major problem whenever the newborns, the kids. So our idea is to create that kind of filtration mechanism, passive filtration mechanism for those kids. And of course, we have developed the large-scale manufacturing setup where we are going to develop the filters for the automobile, cabin air filters, filters for the households, the filters that we are using in the offices. So, and there are many more. Time is very limited. So I must say, yes, the milestone, the first baby step that we took, it is because of the DSIR support. The first baby step that we took, this because of the SIS and our IIT Kanpur, and now we are here. More than, I mean, I shouldn't say here, like, but our company valuation has gone up more than 100 of crores, and we, must be, I mean, like, we will be definitely have some kind of milestone achieved by very soon. And that's it. Thank you so much for the DSIR, IIT Kanpur, and SIC for the great support. And still, I'm sitting in the campus only. So that is how.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr.
Because
Upadhyay.
your masks are being marketed from the SIC.
Sorry, yes, I must say,
Yes,
marketing all done by SISC, not by Eastman.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Because we regularly buy and we feel so proud to read that they are an incubator of SIC.
Yeah, yeah.
The outreach center. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Patil. We wish you
Thank you
grand
so much.
success.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you, sir.
That's what we
Next.
could do. Like when Sandeep needed to scale up, we could actually arrange for a clean manufacturing facility within the campus. In fact, within the incubator premises,
Yeah.
within 2 weeks. So, yeah. So we are very proud of that.
Yeah, and that was the time where there was no direction. It was like blind. I mean, entire nation was the lockdown mode, and we were only like Professor Bandopadhyay, our director, and a few people of Professor Ram Kumar and few people who started working. So I was the only one who was roaming around from in the city and the campus. So and then I called one day to Professor Bandopadhyay, sir. मशीन तो मैंने खरीद लिया है, कहाँ पे सेटअप करेंगे, अब जगह तो नहीं मिलेगी, आप बताइए कहाँ करना है. So he was instantly said, we have the space, I will find it out for you, don't worry about it. And immediately got the space. Within the week we could able to set up the machine in the campus itself. And आप imagine नहीं करेंगे, 10 दिन के अंदर 25,000 मास्क हमने बनाना शुरू किया था.
Yeah.
We're so proud of you. Thank you. So here I would like to mention, because our Honorable Prime Minister of India has always talked of his vision for an Atmanirbhar Bharat by 2022. And very soon we are going to celebrate our 75th year of independence. So the country, and in fact all the ministries and departments, are celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. So here on this platform, I would like to encourage everyone, all the innovators, please go ahead and make our country Atmanirbhar, and let us all pledge to celebrate with great enthusiasm the next, the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav that we are celebrating entire year, this year. On each platform, we urge all the innovators to please innovate, come up with a techno-commercially viable product, and make the country proud, so that we are so proud and we tell our fellow citizens that we have ourselves done it. I mean, a small contribution from PRISM scheme will go a long way. So on this platform, it is a request to everyone, let us pledge to celebrate the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav for this year, and always encourage all our innovators with full heart and emotion, because they need support at the crucial time. I mean, like Sandeep is saying, if Professor Bandyopadhyay would have not supported him, given him a place, he would have not sold 25,000 masks during lockdown. So this is so important, and this is so touching story. So for us, yes, we are busy so much in our daily routine and office job, we don't get a time to realize this. So this is so important and touching. Please work with a heart. Please
Yeah.
do everything possible to make our nation proud, and let us all celebrate this Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
Yeah. And Dr. Madan, I want to add some line over here.
Yeah,
Though our incubator used to say it is a technological incubator, but I must used to say always, it is more over social incubator rather than the technology the second. I mean, like it is, supporting in such a way that no other incubator supports to their incubating companies. I must say is proudly. Being a Maharashtrian, I spent my 15 years just because of IIT incubator and the space. So you can imagine, otherwise I could have gone to Pune or maybe some other places like Bangalore or somewhere else, but not. It is because of the people who are here, they're supporting a lot.
see, what COVID taught us was any mask that doesn't fit properly on your face. I mean, all the contours, whether a male or female. So your mask was one that could fit everyone, each and every contour. I mean, whether a
Yes.
lean face or a plump face. So
True.
your mask has built in the confidence to everyone that if I'm wearing this one, at least I'll be safe from COVID. I can go to office. So that confidence has to come from the product. So don't forget the science behind it. We have to be emotional in taking forward such innovation, but science has to support us.
Yeah.
So thanks to you for bringing that science to us.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
So we hear from Nikhil J now.
Yeah. Welcome, Nikhil.
Thank you,
Please
ma'am.
share
Hello,
your-
everyone. Yeah.
Your story.
Yeah. So, sure. We are a CD Space Robotics, and we were the first company in India to use drones for healthcare deliveries in remote places. So we did a pilot project in Uttarakhand back in 2019, where we delivered blood samples from a remote village PHC to the district hospital, and it was first of its kind of project in India. So our expertise has been, to build drones which are really high performance and which can be put to a cause. Most of the drones which we see, we usually see them in marriages and all, but they have a limited capability in terms of carrying payload or flying to the distances. What we have been developing is the drones which can really high performance. For example, they can carry payloads up to 2 to 5 kg, and then they can travel to the distance of up to 100 kilometers. So in a PRISM project, what we proposed was to develop an avionics system for such drones, because these drones have to be pilotless. So they completely rely on GPS navigation, and they have to be so reliable that even without the pilot's intervention, they should be smart enough not to fail, because one of the major cause of failure in drones is the failure of the electronics on board. So we have, within our PRISM project, we have developed this architecture where there is a multi-redundant avionics system. I won't say exactly as which is used in commercial airliners, but on the very similar lines, but in a very, very miniature form, which can be put on a drone, and which makes a drone flight very, very reliable. For example, when we are traveling, when I'm saying we are sending a drone up to 100 kilometers, it is going to take around an hour. And you cannot monitor or control the drone that remotely. So the idea is to have the system so intelligent that if there is a failure, then it can detect the failure by itself. It can mitigate the failure by itself. And also there is an alternating system which is backing up the whole drone, so that the drone flight will be complete. So that is what our project has been. And I'm really happy that our project has been completed very successfully. Last year there was a COVID, so there have been multiple instances. In some parts of the technology we have started deploying within our products themselves. For example, our drones were used by police, Gujarat police, when there was a COVID lockdown. After that, we had this product for aerial mapping application, where our drones are being used by Survey of India in a Swamitva scheme. So in Swamitva scheme, the Survey of India is mapping almost 6 million villages all across India to digitize their map data. So our drones are being used for this application. Recently, we have also been engaged with IIT Kanpur and ICMR to analyze the possibility of COVID-19 vaccine delivery using drones. And the very exact system which we have developed within our PRISM project, we have successfully used that using our drone, where we carried the dummy vaccines and successfully completed a project where we kind of identified the drone subsystem within which the vaccine delivery will be really safe for longer distances. So that has been a successful project which we conducted a few months back. So the PRISM project has been very successful, and one of the very key technical development within our whole drone as a product. The PRISM has been very useful. So in India, what we have felt is that we are a great IT outsourcing company. So software and IT infrastructure is very well present in our country, but the hardware ecosystem is not that great. And the next industrial revolution is going to be the cyber physical revolution. So in that, the hardware startups and having a hardware Atmanirbharta is going to be the key thing. And I'm very happy that we are at the very initial, we are a part of such an ecosystem, and PRISM is one of such schemes where we can have the hardware related ideas, and you can get a lot of support to realize those ideas. So the PRISM the whole TOCSA IITK and the PRISM backend from the DSIR, they have been extremely helpful. Their guidelines have been very clear, and if you have a compelling problem and you have a format in which you can solve that problem, the form itself is sufficient enough. That in fact gives you a lot of clarity of what you are going to do as a scope of that particular project, and what are going to be the deliverables. It helps you get a lot of clarity. So it's a very well designed overall program. And yes, as a hardware company, for any hardware company, I mean, this is something which can be really a backbone to your start of the journey. So that's it from my end. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Nikhil. Thank you so much for your time. Last, we have Mr. Chandrasekhar ji with us. Chandrasekhar ji भी अपना experience share करना चाहेंगे.
Yes, madam. मैम वैसे ये प्रिज्म बहुत अच्छा प्लेटफॉर्म है लोगों के लिए जो प्रतिभावान है उनके लिए अच्छा प्लेटफॉर्म है. इसमें बहुत हेल्प मिलती है. आप जैसे मैडम है, सुधा मैम है, और भी है कई लोग बहुत हेल्प करते हैं. टेक्नोलॉजी सही होनी चाहिए. तो इसका हमको बहुत फायदा मिला है. हमने एक अभी मैनुअल हार्वेस्टर बना के तैयार किया है और थोड़ा उसका डेमो किया है. हल्का भी कटेगा है, लेकिन फाइनल जब बनेगा तो उसके लिए धान और गेहूं काटने के लिए किसानों के लिए बहुत सब चीजें हैं. ये छोटे किसानों के लिए है, बड़े किसानों की हमारी सोच नहीं है. बड़ा किसान तो ट्रैक्टर वगैरह ले ही लेता सब, लेकिन ये छोटे छोटे गरीब किसान हैं उनके बहुत मुसीबत होती है. वो बेचारे हाथ से काटते हैं, गंदगी उड़ती है उनकी, नाक में जाती है, आंखों में जाती है, जिससे अंदर डस्ट भी आती है, तो कई रोग हो जाते हैं उनके. आंखें भी बेचारों की चली जाती है. तो ये छोटे छोटे किसानों के लिए मेरी सोच यही है कि छोटे छोटे किसानों को फायदा मिले. तो इसलिए ये मैंने अभी पहले हार्वेस्टर बनाया है अभी. तो इससे मुझे प्रिज्म से सहायता मिली है. अब जैसे मुझे काफी मदद किया है लोगों ने, और इसको मैं अभी और बनाकर फाइनल बनाऊंगा सेंटर वर्कशॉप यहाँ IIT कानपुर में. और इसके बाद मेरी इच्छा है कि मैं उसके साथ में तो मूंगफली बोने की और मक्का बोने की भी मशीन बनाऊं. ये सभी मैनुअल हैं जिसमें कोई खर्चा नहीं लगेगा. केवल मैनुअल है जिसमें न डीजल, पेट्रोल, बैटरी कुछ भी नहीं, और बहुत ही सस्ती मशीनें हैं जिससे कि छोटा छोटा किसान भी खरीद सकते हैं इसको. इससे कि लोगों को काफी फायदा मिलेगा. और हमारी चीज ये है, मेहनत की बचत होगी. जो आजकल ज्यादा मेहनत करते हैं, मेहनत नहीं करना चाहते हैं, तो थोड़ा थोड़ा मशीनी मेहनत तो लोग करना चाहते हैं व्यायाम के तरीके से. बस मेरी यही सोच है कि मैं प्रिज्म से मदद मिलती रहे मुझे, और मैं ये नई नई चीजें डेवलप करता रहूं.
धन्यवाद चंद्रशेखर जी. धन्यवाद. Are there any questions, Akanksha? I request Sudha ma'am to join us and say a few words. Ma'am, are you there?
This has been a very, very beautiful program today, and I'm sure I enjoyed it. I hope all of you enjoyed it, and I will take this opportunity to thank our guests, thank Sarika ma'am. Thank you so much for coming and joining us and helping us out. I'll also take this opportunity to thank DSIM for being with us in our journey of innovation and for nurturing this ecosystem, which we are so passionate about. And I thank all our participants, Sandeep Patil, Nikhil, my colleagues who joined us and who made this program so lively. I hope we have some more programs like this, and so that we have more innovators in our ecosystem, and we as an IIT Kanpur actually give them this advantage of the ambience and the infrastructure that we have for the development of this nation. Thank you so much. Thank you all.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. Thank you.
Can I say something here?
Yeah, definitely.
Sorry, yeah. So when I was applying for this DSIR PRISM and TEP program, you know, as an innovator, I can write very good story about my innovation, everything. But at the end, when it comes to the business model, okay, there the problem starts from there. Because the researcher or maybe the innovator, it is very hard to write at the first step as the business model. So Sudha ma'am was the one who first gave me an idea about gave me the information about the TAPE program. And first story about my innovation, everything was written very well. And I stuck on the page where the business model and the revenue model was mentioned over there. So I asked ma'am how to do it. I mean, like, it is very difficult. It seems that developing product is very easy rather than writing numbers over here. So she explained me very well when I first applied, and because of ma'am I got, and because of Professor Pani and the Dr. Shukla, he is not there now. They helped me a lot how to write a business model, revenue model, particularly in this program. So that is what I wanted to mention, that it is not the innovator who only the person on the page that he is there, but also our people like Sudha ma'am and the other person who are connected. They help a lot to make the right proposal. Thank you so much.
Here
Yes.
I would like to add, writing a business model at that point actually helps, because see, it is not only making it and submitting it to DSIR. That time your thoughts get crystallized and somebody gives shape to that.
Absolutely.
And that is the role of TOCIC. They are
Yeah.
scouting, going all out day in and day out to mentor all the innovators. And I would urge all the TOCICs, others may not have joined, but we should encourage everyone, the entire team, to have a big team, and all of you at least take up five projects and mentors in a week. Mentor them in a week so that
Yeah.
they materialize into good, and we are able to see if out of 100 only 20 are going to see this funding support. At least the other 80 are going to go somewhere else. They are not going to sit idle, because now they are in some form, they are ready. So
Yeah.
TOCICs and the kind of structure we already have, it will help. If suppose we allocate कि आपका टारगेट है, आपको 5 एक हफ्ते में इनोवेटर्स के साथ you have to do sittings, at least 2-3 sittings in a week. So that way we can go ahead, and this is a full-time job. I don't think Akansha and Anamika are doing anything else apart from doing the TOCIC work. Do you get time to do anything else?
And I must say, all the viewers who are listening this talk, don't worry about the business model. Our incubation is there, who will help you for the business model development. If you can focus on your innovation more, and then it will be definitely help them. I mean, like, because it is obvious. When I was the first, it was the business model was the problem was for me, not the writing the proposal, and that is how our incubation helped me to come to an end of the proposal, because of that, the help.
Thank you so much, Sandeep, for supporting us. And I would also like to add, I as a person have learned a lot from DSIR. Whatever DSIR has taught me as a program, as the paperwork, the legalities, the documentation, I apply this to all my other programs, because the documentation is very, very perfect. So I find this, as a model where I apply it to all my other programs. So this is a success behind our programs. So DSIR is our model.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And not
Why
only
I'm
this,
laughing is because this is not the first time I've heard this. So when each module was being implemented, and I talked to somebody in IIT Gandhinagar, he told me that no other scheme is asking to implement it. Why DSIR is the first one to ask us to do it? And then we conducted training for all of the accounts people there. So it is a practice that we stick to whatever is there in black and white, so to avoid any gray areas. So that is the practice that we normally follow. And
so this is also another program, ma'am, wherein the innovator is asked to do the PFMS entries. So he's also learning a lot. We along with them. So for Mr. Chandrasekhar, we helped him out. We learned with him. कि ये ऐसे करते हैं. But of course, our going down the line, all the other funding agencies have also adopted to PFMS. So this is a very, very transparent system where both the funder as well as the innovator understands that he's responsible for the taxpayers' money. So I think that is very, very important.
Yeah, I also experienced a very good experience with the DSIR, not with the TEPP, but also when I was applying for the DSIR recognition. And I really, that was like, it was really great help from the DSIR, Dr. What was his name? I just forgot his name.
Dr. Amarnath Banerjee?
Yes, sir, Dr. Banerjee. So he helped me a lot. In fact, each and every point, whenever I wanted to have his help, I could able to call him at 9 o'clock in the night, 10 o'clock in the night, and he was assisting me during the night time also. That was really great help. I mean, like, and I must say, Dr. Madan, this is the first incubating company that is the DSIR recognized in our SISC center. Yeah.
Yeah, we are also proud of it. तुमसे सीख लेंगे ना, Sandeep, how do we apply?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, so he's moving up the ladder and let's see how far he goes. So your roots are here, so IIT Kanpur is not worried. They will get to know all the, all the inside stories of how to climb the ladder. Yeah. Okay. So I think we answered all the questions in the chat box.
Yeah, almost all the questions. That's an incomplete question, I guess. Devi Prasad, Pindani, he got something. So yeah, we answered all the questions. But once again, thank you, Dr. Sarika Madan, for your time, for joining us, guiding us throughout this process. Thank you, Dr. Patil. It was really wonderful to hear you out today.
Thanks a lot.
And for championing us, thank you.
Yes, indeed. And thank you, Sudha ma'am. She has been the guiding light for all of us. Like so much to learn from her. I really, really appreciate her patience. Like we disturb her almost